I just want to start with gratitude. Grateful for everyone that is part of this center, members, not members, people that just drop by, people that watch us online. I just want to give gratitude for that because that's why we're here, to enlighten and inspire people. And I do acknowledge the people off island that are such a big part of this center.
Absolutely.
They are. And we're going to save our questions for the end, okay? And if you're off island and you're watching on live stream, you can chat. I believe through YouTube. I could be wrong.
Ryan, is that true?
Can they chat through YouTube?
Yeah.
They can ask
chat
a question.
through YouTube,
Okay, at the end.
I know some of you are watching.
And let us know you're here, because that will help us to take attendance and all of that, because that's an important part of doing this. And that's it on that.
And the good news is that we worked all week, 7 days, to try to keep this meeting not as long as it has been in the past.
All
and
right.
We're going to be able to do it with the help from our friends.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to invite our beautiful Reverend Diane up, and she's going to treat us in. And hopefully she has the mic.
Right here, honey.
Oh,
Right here.
thank you, Reverend Diane.
Oh,
Good morning.
morning. They can't see us.
So as we bring ourselves to center, right here within each one of us is the remembrance of the power, the presence, and the love of God. Right where we are, all that is expressing through us. And so in this moment, I give thanks for this gathering, knowing that each one of us is here by divine appointment to express the love, the compassion, the respect, the well-being, the abundance, the goodness of spirit as it moves in and through each one of us and is expressed through this center. I give thanks for this annual meeting, knowing that it unfolds in its own right and perfect way. I give thanks for all those who serve this center, for all those who attend this center as members, as sustaining and supporting members. I give thanks that each one is divinely guided at all times to give the best of who they are. And so it is with thanksgiving that I release this word of the law of mind and spirit, allowing this meeting to unfold in its own right and perfect way as we join together in saying, and so it is.
Diane. All right.
Peggy.
Okay, so Peggy is going to come up here, Peggy Jerry, and she's going to read the current list of 2026 members of this center. And we're calling them sustaining members because in order to be a sustaining member, it is important, well, it is mandatory actually, that you designate that you are actually financially giving to the center, and that you name an amount. We don't care if it's $5, we don't care if it's $100, $1 million, we don't care what it is. It could be
Or
$1.
$1 million.
But as long as you call yourself sustaining, then you're sustaining. And so that's what we're doing. So Peggy is going to read those that have committed to be sustaining members.
And if they're not on that
And
list,
if you're not on the list, please let us know, or let Angela know. That'll be
Angela.
the best, and she'll have you fill out a form.
Good morning. Well, first of all, these are 2026 abstaining members. It's the membership drive started online, but still people are signing up today. And thank you with gratitude, knowing that you are stepping forward and you are supporting us in every way to stay functional here, to be part of the community here, and to be part of your spiritual community. The names on the list starts with Reverend Dr. Rita Andriella Farron. Patrick, I don't see her name here. Shara,
we'll talk.
I think they're in alphabetical order.
Shara Banbury, Sue Buckley, Karen Campbell, Leslie David, Reverend Diane Decker, Margaret and Duncan Frazier, Reverend Dr. Kathy Gardner, Sharon Guthrie, Glenn Head, Marion Head, Richard Hudson, Peggy Jerry, Roseanne Jones, Emma Landector, Reverend Dr. Yolita Jose.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to say it wrong. Joselita
Oh, Joselito.
Jolita
Laundencia.
Laudancia. Melissa Mojo, Maureen Murphy, Jack O'Keefe, Dr. Reverend Karen Oxrider,
I don't know why you
Luis
didn't come up.
Pandilla, Angela Phillips,
Ask
Analia Russell, Joyce Shoemaker, Greg Stewart, Dr. Laura Stewart, Marilyn Summer, Deb Valentina, Joe and Joni Van Salilas, Dr. Reverend Walt Weiss, Yana Shanae, Brother Sage, Kiana Ka'a-ha-nui, and Susan Wood. And if your name is on the list, you may still be in transition, and I apologize for any mispronunciations. And we welcome you to our community.
How Reverend Dr. Patrick got left off the list, but
It was there.
he
Oh, it
is a
was there.
member.
It was
Oh,
there.
it was there? Okay. All right.
How
That's
quickly
funny.
we are forgotten.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is talk about the Board of Trustees, all right? And the first thing I want to do is, before we even do that, is I want to honor 2 board members that are actually being released from the board during this meeting because they've served their term. And yeah, so I'll let you start. I'm going to start. I'm going to start with Melissa Bojo.
We
okay?
compiled what we believed about these people.
So Melissa embodies complete involvement and unwavering loyalty to CSL Kauai. She brings creativity, commitment, and a deep well of marketing expertise that has served our center immensely. With a rich professional history in marketing, she's helped elevate our visibility and outreach in meaningful and practical ways. She is a true implementer. When an idea is born, she helps bring it to life. She approaches projects, fundraisers, and with genuine enthusiasm and momentum. We often joke that she is our road runner.
Beep, beep.
Beep, 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 beep. Once a task is identified, it's already on its way. We're deeply grateful for her passion, her energy, and her devotion to our mission. We are honored that Melissa will continue her service in an emeritus position, allowing her wisdom, creativity, and spirit to remain part of the ongoing evolution. So let's give it up for Melissa.
Yes.
We have something for you, so come on up.
It's my supreme pleasure to serve.
Yeah.
And this is for you, dear.
Beep, beep was my line. Can you believe it? Look at this. Read.
Yeah, the box is over there. I'll give it to you right now. All right.
With our greatest appreciation, Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, Melissa Mojo, Board of Trustees from 2020 to 2026. Yeah.
That's the box in
Now
case you
all
want it.
about Peggy Jerry.
And now we got to talk. We got to say goodbye to Peggy Jerry, but not goodbye. Just
really.
goodbye off the board.
Peggy is the embodiment of calm, balance, and spiritual grounding. No matter what challenge or fire may arise, she remains the steady presence in the storm. Peggy consistently pauses, listens deeply, and then offers what we lovingly call soul oceans. She goes straight to principle and spirit for guidance, waiting for the intuitive insight before responding. This ability makes her the perfect responder, anchored, wise, and deeply aligned. Her loyalty to CSL Kauai is unwavering, and she is also always attentive to the well-being of the Revs, ensuring that self-care and balance remain part of the leadership. She always says, "How are you two doing?" And that is always welcome, so thank you so much. We wrote it this
You got it last time.
Oh, Peggy's presence is a gift, and her service has strengthened the spiritual foundation of our center in countless ways. We wrote it this time, so sometimes if I go off, it might, the timing, just timing.
Come on
It's all
up,
about
Peggy.
that. There's Peggy.
This one's for you. Oh,
What?
oh, what happened?
Just a little, that's okay.
It's all right. We'll figure it out. Okay, we'll figure it out. I'm gonna have to send it back, I think.
There we go.
All right. 2 words.
Oh,
Something happened to it. I don't
with,
know. It's
with
all
our
right.
great-
We'll take care of it. Don't worry about
It's
it.
I'm not-
okay.
I'm not doing it.
Let me say this, as a volunteer, I'm a reluctant person to put myself out in front there. I like to work behind the scenes. I like to support it in that way, and I think that that is so powerful because there's so much that goes on here that needs support, that needs help, that needs your presence, and in small ways, and I think it makes all the difference in the world.
We
I'm
totally
going to take this and
appreciate
fix it for you before I give it to you. All right. We'll figure it out later.
I knew we shouldn't have put that by Quanta at the house.
No, Quanta didn't do that. All right. So now I just want to talk about what the Board of Trustees
Oh, yeah.
is,
You're gonna
okay?
ask us.
So I also wrote it so it would be clear and based on our bylaws. The Board of Trustees serves as a circle of stewardship for this church center, holding care for its financial health, legal responsibilities, and long-term sustainability so that the spiritual mission may flourish. The board includes the pastors, one of whom serves as president, along with dedicated leaders who share a love for the vision and values of the ministry. Trustees are chosen through a thoughtful and prayerful process of discernment. Some individuals express interest in serving, while others may be invited after reflection and conversation by the current board. All trustees are selected with care based on their alignment with the principles of the science of mind, their commitment to service, and their willingness to steward the resources of the community with integrity. When a vacancy arises, the board may invite another qualified individual to serve, ensuring continuity and loving care for the ministry. Okay, so what I want to make clear, for those of you that might be interested in this in the future, there's a difference between a board of directors and a board of trustees. This is a board of trustees, which means they're really, truly, their only responsibility is to keep the integrity of the finances and the legal integrity of the center. Of course, when we have meetings, we're a consensus board, and if Patrick and I bring something to the group, you know, something we want to do, spiritually speaking, classes, whatever, we always review it and ask for their feedback, and there's been things that haven't gone through because of their feedback. So, but their major duty, and I just want to make that clear because people don't realize it, is that they're trustees. That means they're in charge of the finances, integrity of the finances, and they check everything every month, and the their legal responsibility. So, with
Yes.
that being said, we have 2 new board members, and we're very excited about it. So one of those board members, and I'm going to ask them both to come up when I say their names, Reverend Dr. Walt Weiss. He received his Master's of Divinity from the Florida Center of Theological Studies and is ordained in both Metropolitan Community Churches and in Divine Science Federation. He completed his Doctor of Ministry at Claremont School of Theology. Reverend Dr. Walt has served as a spiritual bereavement care coordinator with Kauai Hospice since 2018 and is one of the practitioners at the Center for Spiritual Living. His ministry also includes preaching at various churches on the island and offering at weddings and funerals, and I'm sure much more than that. So you can say a few words,
There you go.
why you accepted this
Oh.
position. Oh, you got it.
I can't speak
All
out
right.
of both sides of my mouth.
Reading too fast.
First of all, thank you for this honor and opportunity to serve. 8 years ago, I walked in with Glenn and Marion Head, and my life has been forever changed. You are my ohana, you are my tribe, and so it is a great privilege. I have been a sustaining member, so I have contributed treasure. I have spoken and used my talent, and now I got to give some time. So I look forward to this opportunity. And last, I just want to say, because of the theme from this morning that everyone shared, I was speaking with a friend last night from New York City, and she had just posted something about the young gentleman who had been killed. And she was distraught. She was beside herself. And as I tried to be there for her, I realized that the only thing that I could talk about was this philosophy, because it was the only thing that could sustain her and me. So here, we learn how to go to peace instead of to pieces. And so I'm so grateful to be here.
Thank you for doing this. Yeah, stay up. Okay. And then, where's her bio?
I don't know.
Oh, it disappeared, so I'll just talk about her. I don't know what happened to your bio, girl. Okay, well, the other person is our beautiful Leslie David. And I just want to say that since I lost my thing that I was going to say about her, I don't know what happened to it.
Okay.
I can't keep all my papers together. This woman, she's steadfast, she's calm, she is so centered in this teaching, she is so centered in service, she is a stalwart in the center and never asks for anything besides to serve, really. She is an amazing woman and has a beautiful background in many ways, in many things, including being a mother, which is the biggest background. Anyway, come on up and give a few words and say something about yourself since I lost the paper.
First, I'd like to tell you that I have great gratitude for even standing up here. I feel honored to have been asked to do this. Thank you. I moved over to the island during COVID, and I made sure every week my name was on the list to come in, to make sure I could come to service.
I remember that.
CSL Kauai has fed my roots, watered them, and allowed me to grow. And as I grew, I found myself reading more, taking classes, and then blooming started, and I found myself volunteering. Where can I help? So I feel very honored that I have CSL in my life because I went from a real scraggly little bush up into a blooming plant.
Yeah.
So mahalo.
Thank you. So there will be other positions opening on this board. So if you are interested, please, we do go through a vetting process. And like I said, it's, yeah. So if you are interested, I don't want to shut anybody out. So just come talk to us. All right. Or email us. That's probably better. Just email us. All right. So that all being said, I'm so grateful. So yeah. So if we could just together just affirm these new members and just say that we give them our support and our love, I would appreciate it. Just a big cheer for them. Thank you. Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good. Yay. All right. Now what's next? Okay. Because we want to go through this. I don't need this anymore.
She's got one.
Oh, you got one. Melissa Mojo will now come up and read our mission and vision.
So our mission is to offer a safe space and the spiritual tools to facilitate the awakening of the individual's inner power to express successful relationships, optimum health, and a prosperous and creative life. I'm all for that. Our vision is to awaken humanity to its magnificence by walking the bridge from duality to unity consciousness.
I want to just focus on that for 1 second to tell you that the only reason Patrick and I are here is to impart the science of mind and spirit. That's it. That's why we're here, to love you all, but to empower you to be the best and most dynamic individuals that you can be, as we were talking about in service today. That's our mission. That's why we came here to this island 13 years ago. So I just wanted to say that. So our theme in 2025 was Decide to Thrive in 2025. And we had a lot of milestones and accomplishments, and I'm just going to go through them. And our major thing was sustainability. We focused on sustainability and adjusting to the experience of our new space still. It's a lot to run this space, and you'll hear about it later when we get into the financials. And so some things, wonderful things happened. Reverend Diane Decker and Sue Buckley continued a full-time successful food drive. for the Kauai Food Pantry. We had continued involvement in the Pride Parade. We did beach cleanups under the direction of Reverend Diane and Sue Buckley, and now is being taken over by Leslie David. And we hosted a successful workshop fundraiser with Dr. Dawson Church, who shared his work in EFT and brain science. We welcomed Dr. Eric Overholzer again for 9D breathwork shops. We opened our spaces for Dances of Universal Peace with Stream, Bakanov. Jeanette Blum continued weekly yoga classes on Tuesdays. We continued to coordinate the bone dance with the Hungwanji. I received my Veriditas Labyrinth Facilitation and Certification, which opened our labyrinths to a broader audience and is doing that already. We coordinated with Hospice for our first Grief Labyrinth walk. We had our first concert with the mainland New Thought musician Gary Lynn Floyd, and Karen Drucker did music for our Sunday service. The Sacred Journey 2025 was a success. The book signings, we did book signings for our members. One of them was Marilyn, I remember that, and Sue Buckley, and I can't remember who else right now. I don't have it written down. And we ended the year with a candlelight service and the New Year's Labyrinth. And Facebook Live meditations I did throughout the year, which really brings attention to our center. And then we had some volunteer leadership. And let's see, who do we have? Kiana. We cannot forget Kiana. She contributed hospitality appetizers, barbecues, pancake breakfasts, 2 Sundays a month at least, and more a month. So when you see her today, please give her a big hug and thank her. There she is. I mean, that's huge. Ron Stover continued as our hospitality leader, and I have to say, he's the guy, but he gets it done. And I don't know anybody that would come here in the middle of the night to do something other than Ron Stover, and he has on many occasions, and kept our hospitality team in place. And Melissa Mojo and Joni Van Celis, I never say your name right. Van Celis, like a seal. See less, okay. See less, okay. Joni and Melissa, stepped up to lead and to create our choir. This is a big deal, and and they're doing such a great job at it. They are so organized, and they are so welcoming, and they are so amazing. She's laughing because she doesn't like people complimenting her. But I know, I work with Melissa on a daily basis with all different kinds of things, and I just got introduced to Joni, but they are doing a great job, so we thank them for doing that. And then I also, these are leadership positions that I'm talking about. I know a lot of people volunteer here, but these are mostly leadership positions. And then I want to acknowledge that Bob Lair really kind of took it under his wing to make sure we had signage here. Melissa created the signage, but Bob Lair just always made sure that the signs were up. And I just want to acknowledge that. And Glenn Head, he's not here today, but where is he? Oh, okay. He's another one. He's like behind the scenes doing these little things, and half the time we don't even know what he's doing. But he's taken the leadership of improving our facility on a monthly, daily basis, whatever, including painting back there in the and just dropping things off here and there, so we don't go unnoticed. And we also have Sue Buckley and Anna Myers, who began the Aloha Connections Hui, and I just appreciate what they're doing. And we are a very giving community that goes out and helps people, but we do need a coordinator because it would really help. And right now they are seeking a new coordinator. So if there's somebody that feels that inside them, that they would like to coordinate the care team here, please talk to us, talk to Sue Buckley or Anna Myers. But thank you for what you did to start it all out. And then we had some ongoing programs that continued. One of them was spiritual cinema that we just do every month, and it's fairly well attended, sometimes more than others. Rap with the Revs, we continued. Men's and women's groups, we continued. The Labyrinth remains open now 4 days a week from 11 to 2:30. The Day of Caring continued under Angela's beautiful direction, which is once a month, the first Thursday of the month. We come and we help clean the center up. And Marion Head began a revolutionary agreement presentation the first Sunday of every month. And she's continuing that this year. And if I forget anybody along here or whatever, I'm just trying to keep it all together. Things that we did, things that we started. Yeah, and then our technical team that works endlessly to make sure we go out into the world, right? And then to all the people that work behind the scenes. Loya, she's always here watering the plants. I know nobody even knows it. It just, there's so much going on here, and there's so many people that just like, I could go on and on. I'm not going to, because if I don't mention somebody, then I'm gonna be in trouble. But I'm doing the best I can. All right. So our financial achievements, and we're not going into finances now, was our telethon. We brought in 20,000. We were able to donate 2,000 to the Kauai Food Bank. And here's, you need to know this. Since 2013, since we've been here, we've donated $221,787 to people who spiritually nourish us. And that's what our tithing is. It's to people who spiritually nourish us. And so we were able to sustain this new property for another year. And I'm going to keep using the word sustain and you'll see when we go into our finances. And we were able to secure an administrator, Angela, and keep her here part-time. We'd like her here longer, but right now she's part-time, and we're just appreciative to have a presence here, somebody that people can call, somebody that people can see when they walk in the door, and we thank her for that. And creative contributions, thank you, Angela. So, creative contributions. The biggest creative contribution that we've had this year was the finishing of these murals by Carol Watanabe. I mean, this is huge. This woman is a internationally renowned artist, and she just decided to pick up a paintbrush and make our place look beautiful. And I doubt she's listening, but I send you lots of love, Carol, and we do appreciate what she's done to transform this place. And then here's Charles Wolfork, Jonathan Lee, Kieran, and Orion continue to expand our audio and live stream capability. And another thing that you might not be aware of is that we pay a technical team for outside services to extrapolate our talks from the service and continue to update the website. That is something that we have to do, and so we have a paid team that does that. And so that is 2025 in a nutshell. I'm sure there's more, but and we did throw in some classes here and there, but that was the nut. All right, Patrick.
Yeah, so there's the 2025.
I did pretty fast.
See how fast it goes when you got it all in the little thing? So we're looking at the future of CSL Kauai by staying grounded in our now. So what is the purpose of CSL Kauai as we go forward? Reigniting the heart of CSL Kauai and expanding our attendance through attracting new people and families. New people and families. Reaching out further to our global community. And what that means is reaching out so that we have programs for them to also be able to attend. Classes, workshops, which is a lot that they want. They are very, very dedicated to our Sundays. It amazes us to see what is going on here. Expanding our activities and programs and classes and events. Living Young, which was just last week with Reverend Nancy. It's those kind of things that we look at to the future to bring in new things. Speaking of new, Alex Movement Workshop. Focus Labyrinth. It seems like when we focus the labyrinth, people attend. If it has a theme to it, they want to be a part of it. Just to come to walk, not so much. So we learn through 2025 about 2026. Now, also growing the teachings of the science of mind and spirit. There is something for everyone at CSL Kauai. We were talking at the movie, which I do suggest and would love you to rent it, because it would really help you understand. It's on Netflix, and it's called Join or Die. Hate the title, but it is fantastic. We had it on Friday. So, and I was saying to them, they were saying, well, we can do this and we can do that. And I said, look back there, take a moment just to turn your head and look at that green table back there. There's a few things going on here. There's like 13 flyers, so it's not like we're like trying to dig things up, right? So, but what we want to do this year is something for everyone, the smorgasbord of CSL Kauai and the Institute of Magnificent. Now, let's talk lease. We have we have 2 years left on our lease. We had a 5-year, but something that they wanted us to only sign for 4 because something to do with taxes. Don't know, don't care. But the fifth one is ours, should we want to take it, but we're only signed for 2 more years. So I never talk about that, but there's a lease on it. So 2 years, 2026 and 2027, I can really feel the changes that have to go on, because one of it is to increase the number of people that come here. That isn't just because we want to say we have 200 people here or 100 people here. With more people, there's more opportunities for the volunteering that we run short of because of the amount of people we have coming. So the more we can do that, the more people get to know themselves even better and they move forward. So 3 years, pretty much, 2 years by lease. Priorities and plans. We have our sacred journey, cosmic connection. We switched it from we switched it from October to April now. And we're in our number 11th, I think, 12th sacred journey. Special concerts with mainland and local artists. I just want to say, because it's fun to say that name, but we've talked and kind of connected with Makana, and I had made that, Beth knows. Beth actually was a very good catalyst for that, because she said, you mentioned that that's something you want to envision and have. What have you done? Have you called him? And I went, oh. Is that how it works? You have to call people to ask them? Yes, and what we did is we got in touch with him, so he's leaving the door open after our proposal, and I would love to see that happen. And then special concerts, mainland and local artists, bringing them here as well. Membership drive is underway with sustaining members being welcomed today, and for the year. Forms are available via email or with Angela. Facility improvements we need to do for this year is to continue building signage to enhance visibility. It really makes a difference. People, I cannot tell you how many people have come here because they saw this, but what we want to do is put those things up that says what we actually do here. Because people walk by, and they're afraid. People never know what's going on with it. So we don't want any fear with that. So, and then this is new, and I wish I'd said it on Friday at the movie because somebody suggested something like that. We have decided to create a meditation garden in the back. And it goes with Glenn's colors and everything. Right now, I don't know where it is on my list, but it has to be, but about youth. You may notice we don't have youth. Youth is equal to families. And so, or people that tell that this would be a great program. What happens is we don't personally, I have a huge background with youth. I was a youth director for 5 or more years before I came here. But we don't really have the thing. So what we're looking for is someone to come in and start that up. And they will, because it's coming up. Fundraising and financial goals, everything, just so we'll know, is a fundraiser. We have no scholarships or anything. It's everything that comes in here is a fundraiser. But we would like, some are bigger than others and some are more fun, so the fundraiser gets a little bit bigger. So classes are fundraisers as well. The more creative we get, the more we will attract attendance and finances. Outreach and marketing, social media is top priority. We've been working with the young whippersnappers. They know the deal for the most part about, like, your grandson, for instance, gave the suggestions about some social media stuff to get people to know we're here. We are working with young, innovative people, savvy, savvy in the tech and social media world to bring. It's been a lot of this today. It's been a lot of it. We know they are safe. We know they are sound. We know that they are embraced in the energy of good. Spreading the word. Invite friends, share events, and expand our reach. I'm not going to get into a big thing. We all know that networking is the biggest thing you could possibly do. All I know is with the 2 more years of a lease and 1, we must grow this center. We must. Because, biting nails a few times a month, for a year is one thing. But, it becomes an assault on your nervous system after a while of trying to continue to just sustain, as we were talking about. We are going right here and right now to thriving. We must. And if we must, as Rita said in her talk today, the mental equivalent, then it has to meet us. And I think redefining, not more programs. I don't need that. I need to redefine what the heart is. We need to come together and define what is our heartbeat of this center and why is it so important that it remains. Because I believe it should remain. I do believe it will remain. But we have to really know why, when we go to sleep at night, why is it so important that this center is here past the lease. And I know we can do it. To expand volunteer engagement, that's how we expand that. By everybody pitching in for the thing, for what's going on here. This is a family, and if we all lived together, we'd all have chores. I don't know how you were raised, but I was raised in a family that we had chores. And everybody did a little something, and then it wasn't mostly all me, but that's just being bitter. So what we're doing here is this: we have to come together as this Ohana and say, what do we need to do? Not just to keep the doors open. Who wants to just keep doors open? What are we going to do here to ignite this so that this has a history even beyond us two, in our future? I mean, I know we're young, but other people are retired at certain ages. So, but we are not. Noreen is going to come. She is, what is it, Rita? Noreen Dougherty is coming to do a whole program about brain gym for kids and family. So she's hoping and knowing that her idea is if they know her here, because she's got a 25-year, Sue Buckley knows them, that she comes here and she does this and it will bring families. That's her intention. And then I think, besides that, just in wrapping that up, there was more in 2025 because we haven't done 2026 yet. But I have a lot of faith and a lot of trust that we did not come together and go and move to this space and move to this expansion to close. And the reason I'm saying it is because a lot of times, Mom and Dad, we don't talk about that we must grow our center. We have done it so far. We did it before COVID, and we can stop blaming COVID. I'm talking to Patrick. COVID is over now. Now we have to start with a different ground and a different foundation. And I know that we are capable of doing that because I've watched us all do it. 2026.
All right, so there's something else I was going to say about that. We have to grow it with young people. We really do. I mean, let's get real. We're all getting on, right? And we're not going to be here forever. If we want the center to be here forever, that's why we have to attract families and young people. Right now, we're not doing that for whatever reason, but we're going to work on it. And I know that if we put it here and put it here, that it will happen. And so part of it's sharing and telling people about it. That's a big thing. So we want to go into the financial part of this, but before we do, while they're passing this out, and I only made 30 of these, and we need one. So if you could share with the person next to you, and if you need your own copy, we'll run it off for you later or email it to you. But Roseanne and I do this every year. She keeps me on, I think, wait. I just don't want somebody else's form back there. Is that the last of it? Look at thing. All right, so this is our financial update. But before I say this, as you're try not to look at it until I get through this next part. I probably shouldn't have passed it out. But I want to talk about pledging for just 1 second, because our pledges were somewhere around $60,000, and we run a $275,000 budget. It costs us $5,370. Listen to this, $5,370 a week to run this center. I broke it down based on last year's what came in. Okay, wait, I'm going to wait till you stop talking because this is important. Yeah, I want to wait till you pass it out. If there's plenty, there was 30 copies. There's more than 30 copies. All right, can everybody bring their attention up here while I just finish this? So it cost us $5,370 a week when I break it down overall on the year to run this center by 52 weeks. So when we get like a pledge for $60,000, and this happens every year, this is not the first year, we get pledges and they're at $60,000, and you're going to go say to yourself, well, what? Like, how does that happen? Most businesses would probably close if they knew they were only going to bring in $60,000 and they had a close to a $300,000 budget. But what I know is because we want this place to be here, because we have intended for this place to be here, because we think about it day and night that this place needs to be here, the money comes in. And we'll get a donation, like you'll see it on there, an IRA for $30,000 that will come in just when we need it. But don't be fooled. We bite our nails at the end of months sometimes. We had 1 month this year we could not pay our rent and we could not pay our ministers. And it happened within like 5 or 6 days, but we had to go to the Hung 1G and tell them that we didn't have the money for them to cash the check. I don't want that. I don't know about you, but none of us like that in our life, right? So I just want to reiterate how important pledging is and how important your donations are. And just so you know, 40% of our donations come from off-island. 40%, thank you, off-island, of our donations come from off-island. That's important to know. Now, I'm going to invite Melissa up here for a second, and she's just going to talk about something that's really important. So go for it, Melissa. All right.
Yes, having been on the board for the past 6 years, we've been on a roller coaster every month. It's like, do we have enough money? And it's scary sometimes. So that's why I want to talk about how important it is to give consistently, regularly, even if you go away. I mean, giving, it supports our home. Just as, I mean, when you go away, you don't turn off the electricity and you don't pay for the water and somebody to mow your lawn or anything. So it's really important that when you're traveling, that everybody, that you give. That it's not something that we pay for just when we walk through the doors. It's a spiritual home that holds us all the time. Even when someone is traveling, the staff still works, the building still operates, ministries still serve, and music, services, classics, pastoral care, and prayer continue. And our spiritual home, when you're away, still needs light. It still needs water, sound, technology, and it still holds the field that you return to. It's really important because it maintains the community of our spiritual home. And it's consistency, basically, if you give every month or every week, it allows for responsible budgeting, and it prevents feast or famine cycles and supports our long-term planning, reduces stress on the leadership and the staff. And even small, steady gifts matter more than occasional large ones. Everything counts. And this is also giving as a way that we participate in the life of our community. And it's a way of saying that this place matters to me. And it helps us to stay energetically connected and align with our values. And it doesn't mean, because we're traveling, that we've left our community. It simply means that we're carrying our community with us. It's a weekly reminder that says, this is still my home, that I am still part of something larger. I'm still contributing to what contributes to me. And sometimes you might not see or know exactly how this is contributing to the community, but it gives supports for preparation for future services, maintaining our sacred space, allowing us to do outreach, prayer, music, and unseen labor. And it's really important to know that a healthy community serves beyond any one person's attendance. So people can give, they could give every week in the basket, or just you can automate it weekly or monthly as a spiritual practice. And this would mirror how we support our homes and utilities. It keeps us aligned when life gets busy and allows us to give from intention rather than impulse. So our invitation to give regularly is not about pressure or guilt. It's about recognizing that this spiritual home continues to support us, and we support it in return. Consistent weekly or monthly giving even when we travel, is one way to say yes to belonging, continuity, and shared responsibility. And I just have a short little poem that sort of says it all. Life moves in circles, steady and true. What flows out in love comes back to you. Our spiritual home is more than a place. It lives in the field of love and of grace. When we travel away, the lights still stay on. The work still continues. The care carries on. We don't leave our home when we walk out the door. We give to support it, and so much more. So whether we're here or far on the roam, our giving says clearly, this place is my home. We give as participation, faithful and kind, trusting the law that supports all mankind. Giving is trust, not payment or due, a rhythm of faith that keeps flowing through. What we give in spirit is never alone. It moves through the law and returns us back home. So thank you, and thank you for giving. Thank you.
For that. Thank you, thank you. All right, so Roseanne is going to come up here. She's the Excel genius. We're going to look on together because I don't have a copy now.
Well, you
I know.
got this one.
I got this one. So we're not going to go through every line item with you because I think that would keep us here forever, but we will let you go through the line items and ask, and we will answer your questions. How's that? All right, if you have a particular question. We'll just read the bottom line, okay? The bottom line was that last year we brought in $263,717, and we put out $252,670. I got my glasses on. So we ended in the black, which was a good thing. But the one thing I do want to say about this was just sustaining. We didn't really grow. Like, we'd love to have Angela here more hours, but we can't afford it. We'd love to pay, for a youth director, but we haven't been able to do that. So the ministers, we've gotten a raise once in 13 years. What I'm trying to say is this is sustaining, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad we're sustaining. But as Patrick was saying before, we need to grow. And the only way to grow is not to ask for more from you, but to get more people in here that are interested in growing with us. So that's our job for this year, I believe. You think so? All right, so thank you, Roseanne. So questions for this, just for this, nothing else yet. Something you don't understand or something you want more clarification about. Yes, Louise. Well, we need a mic. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, just looking at the donations, is that the 10% that you were talking about? Like this year, past year was $30,000?
Yes. So it
Okay.
was more than 10%. Is that what you're asking me?
No. Looking at the very end, we came out $11,000 ahead.
We came out $11,000 ahead, yes.
Right. Okay. Now, I know how important the donations are. $30,000, that's a very, fair amount, and it's very giving. But if there's some way, maybe you could slice that down to 20,000. We would be like more ahead, rather than on the line.
Let me just speak on that for a minute, because
Okay.
it's going to look like one of the things we've done is we give to where we're spiritually. I'm assuming you're talking about the charitable donations. Okay, so we give to those who spiritually nourish us. So the reason this figure might look high, and the personnel look lower, is because we have moved our musicians into tithing. They go into our tithing budget because they spiritually nourish us every single solitary Sunday. There's a difference. It's called charitable giving here, but in reality, there's a difference between charitable giving and giving to your spiritual nourishment. So if the figure looks high, it's because we've moved those people and we haven't lessened the other things that we give to. All right? So yeah, because that's why it looks like the personnel has gone down. It's because they've been moved into that thing. And that was by careful consideration by the Board of Trustees and advisement. So thank you for asking and noticing it, though. Thank you. Yes?
I'm just looking at the bank charges are nearly $3,000. Have you considered going to an online bank?
Okay, those bank charges include our credit card fees. Okay, so that's why it's so high. It includes all that we pay, PayPal, Venmo. Anytime you put something on a charge card, we pay the credit card fees. So we don't charge them back to you like some people do, and we're not going to do that.
She's talking about donations.
No, I think she's talking about bank charges.
Bank
Bank
charges.
charges, but if you give $1,000 on a credit card, who gets to pay the credit card fees?
We pay the credit card fees. So if somebody gives, I don't know what they are. They're like somewhere between 2 and 4%. More like 3 and 4%. So every time somebody buys a class or gives a donation on a credit card, we pay the credit card fees. So that's the bank's. Our bank doesn't charge us that much for their services.
Okay.
I think we pay like $9 a month for our service charges on our bank accounts. Most of that is coming from credit cards. We just grouped it there. Thank you for asking. It's not working? Hello? It's
Testing.
working. Just put it right up to you.
I'm wondering what the other activity expenses are. It sounds like kind of a miscellaneous category. I'm wondering what that is.
Yeah, other activities are things like concerts, dances of universal, anything that would be not a class. But it costs us money, and we make money, but sometimes it's just, do we have it under making money? We have it other including labyrinth. So that's what we brought in. Other including labyrinth would be like other activities. 9,000, we just grouped it together, 11,511. And then the expenses were, what were they? I'm looking. 2,300. So we actually came out ahead. Like, for instance, Gary Lynn Floyd would have been an other activity. And so he got paid for what he did. And so, or, that kind of thing. It's not a class. Yeah.
What about movies? Is that another activity? The
Yeah,
movie
it comes
night?
under outreach.
Outreach.
Yeah, I don't know if outreach is a separate line item. We grouped them together to make it, was outreach a separate line item?
That's whatever. But
Yeah.
I see potential in
movies-
that being a big money raiser.
What's that?
No, the movies.
The movies are not a big money raiser. First of all, we can't charge for them. So we ask for donations.
You guys, there's one thing I'm going to say. The donation, we always have a donation there. What we mean by not a big money maker, we can have 30 people sitting in here, and we will walk away with less, maybe $60, $80. Everybody just puts in a donation.
Yeah.
So, and that's all they're required to do for that. But if I was going to put stock in anything or try to make money, I don't think it'd be movie night. Oh, here,
Well,
example, Friday night, $10.
5.
Oh, sorry. So what do you mean?
So in order to charge, what would we have to do to charge?
can't
because
charge.
there are no theaters here on this side of the island, you know?
We can't charge, as far as I know. I mean, if somebody wants to investigate it, but if we had to charge, we would be a movie theater, and then we would be paying the movie companies, and it would be a big mess. I don't know. If somebody wants to look into it, they can. Susan Wood is shaking her head. No. So, what?
I mean, I'm not a lawyer, of course, but there's copyright fees with movies.
Yeah.
And to charge for them, we'd have, like a musician, if you sing their music, technically you're supposed to give them money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we know we can't.
Yeah, so unfortunately, no.
And I,
We do. No, we don't recommend the amount. I don't think we can.
Got it. We will.
Well, we will. Okay, thank you.
I would just like to.
It doesn't seem like she's on.
Am I on?
No.
Am I on?
Let me. I'll go turn it up.
It doesn't seem like focusing on a movie night, which is a nice thing to do once a month. It's not going to ever be a huge money maker. I just want to point out, because there's been a few people who thought, because we were a nonprofit, that we didn't have to pay rent here. And so I want you to be very clear that with rent and utilities, it's over $6,000 a month, just to turn on the lights and open the door. That means that every
Let me see
Sunday
this
you
if it's
come in
working.
here, it is like
Testing.
$1,500 a month to walk in the door and enjoy the space. And that's not including the musicians, it's not including anything else, it's just to turn on the lights. So maybe most of you recognize that it's an expensive place to rent anything on Kauai, and this is expensive, but we can talk about movies all day long. You know, one movie night is once a month. But whether we make $100 or $50 on that, that's minor in comparison to the obligations we have.
Other questions? Ask away. We're fine.
Can I just say something about these pledges? From a
Can you talk into the mic?
I guess I can. I say it every year, and I'll say it again
wasn't
now.
on, that's why it wasn't working.
If we were sitting down with somebody in business, and they said, "What are your pledges?" and you say $60,000. What's your thing? $250,000 is our budget. The reason pledges were invented was so that you could have an idea, and all of our colleagues, just so you can have an idea in a business. What are you going to be bringing in that year? Well, we're in a different kind of business than regular business, but still nevertheless. So I show these numbers to many people, and they say, I have no idea how you could still be opening. You know, and they wouldn't even know. I mean, the first 3 years, I'm sure we didn't have all this, but they probably thought we were dealing in a mafia or something. I don't know what but that's the good part of being a cult. You can, you get this extra money. But all kidding aside here, it's what's important about it is that it does happen. It does happen, which proves the principle of this teaching, in my opinion, that Rita and I started it with principle. We grew everyone else on principle, and we watch, and I still, when Rita and I have these meetings and everybody has it, we're still looking at each other like, you've got to be kidding. How in the hell could this be working? It doesn't matter, because how in heaven it can be. Is that law thinking? Well, no, it's actually proof that principle works, because it shouldn't be working. Now, here's the other thing, too. We can be in a really financial crunch, and somebody will give a check for $30,000, $10,000, $500 off the island. We'd have no idea that it's coming in. But you can't take that to the bank, You can't say, no, we're going to stay open next week because, 30,000 usually comes in. They don't care about that, right? But I do know that it does. So that's what it should say about energetically about this thing called the Institute of Magnificence in CSL Kauai. It says that there's some power, and it's the one power that's moving through, and you still have to be good business people, but we're still here, year 13. And those pledges have never matched since the first year ever, right? So never matched what we were doing. And after about 7 years, you stop worrying about that because we are spiritual warriors and not spiritual worriers. But it's just to let you know, Rita and I and some of these board members, we have no nails left. We have no nails. But yeah, exactly. So I'm just saying that that's something that I'm always proud of because in reality, in your 3D world, we shouldn't be here. But in the 5D, we are absolutely still doing it. So keep up your vibrations is what I'm saying.
So does anybody have any other questions other than this that they want answered before we eat?
Because I can smell the food.
Yes.
Hold on.
Jack. Wait, hold on. I can't hear you. Speak into the mic.
I know what you're going to Yeah, I know what you're going to
Yeah, does our lease allow us to sublet? There's a huge demand for meeting
No, we're not
rooms.
going to. We discuss this every year, and we're not going to do that. We have reasons for it.
Okay.
All right.
The reason why we don't rent.
And I don't think it does allow us.
And it doesn't really allow us
It doesn't allow
to
us,
do it.
actually. But what we do just CSL Kauai presents if somebody comes to us.
That's a big suggestion from a place of business about doing it. No, because we have stayed true to that. And what happens is when you start renting out your building to other people, it is no longer your space. It is no longer your building. We've already done it in the past in LA. And before that, or people will go, like they sublet it because they had very low attendance, and they would go a book club, $20, $50, even what we're doing, like when you put on a really big event, we're asked all the time. We were just asked recently to do it, but we know that we cannot grow this center when the center doesn't belong to us. And yeah, it's a hard one because business-wise, Jack, they definitely say it's a good idea. And now, here's what we do. What we do have is if somebody wants to present something, we go in coordination with it. We work with them. And then it's always Center for Spiritual Living presents. And it can have nothing to do with anything that we do as far as it needs to be in accordance, but we've done that on several. So somebody will go, I want this big event. Stream, same thing. Centers for Spiritual Living presents Universal Piece of Dance, piece of dance. No. But does that make sense? So we do kind of do that, but in a way that we cover.
Because then we collaborate with them, and they receive a certain percentage of whatever comes in.
Always. And then they're able to, we get our word out to the people too. Like a Makana would be a good example. We would be doing that, but let's say somebody else said, can I use this because some big singer's coming? We would go, yes, as long as Center for Spiritual Living presents Makana. There we go.
And it has to be in alignment with our values. Yes? Oh, Greg. No, because you won't be heard on the live stream.
Back on the finance a little bit. I want to commit to donating on a weekly basis. Do I need to give it to you guys directly, or can I just put it in the plate?
Well, if you want to be recognized for it in your taxes and stuff, you need to put your name on it. Because we have no way. We get a lot of donations in the basket that we don't know where they came from. Like every week, it's just unnamed. What?
Yeah, your cash is good as well. I mean, but yeah, you just put it in an envelope with your name on it, and then we have cash that's not, spoken for at the end of the week, but that goes into anonymous, right?
Anonymous.
So
giving.
we don't really
but
know.
I just want to say something about that too. Is that Now it went by. I don't know what it was. It was important,
but to answer your question, if you don't care that it is, but I had someone last year come to me and we sent them their yearly thing, and they said, "Oh no, I gave so much more than that." And I said, "Okay, well, that's fine." I said, "But we don't have it registered here." And then they said, "Oh," I said, did you put it on the envelope?" "Oh no, I didn't put it in. I just put it in every week."
By the way, I did.
And I said, "You would have to be psychic to be able to know who it is." And she went, "Oh my God. Okay, I'll start writing my name on it then." Yeah, there we go.
All right, by the way, we just sent out the statements, the giving statements for you for your taxes if you're choosing to deduct them, because we are a 501c3. So they just went out. If you didn't get one, please let Angela know, and I'll make sure you get one. Like, somebody told me they couldn't print it out. But anyway,
Good.
they went out like on
Thank you for that.
Friday or
Yeah.
something. Joan has a question.
Oh, Joan?
What? I know. Why did I call you Joan?
Well, that is my name, but I just wanted to say, I mean, it's, here you're preaching to the choir, but when we attended a Unity church, it started out as a church in a box. I mean, we rented out a space and we went there every week and whatever. And they talked about giving and they talked about tithing, but then we were, a church building. And at that time, they were trying to qualify for a mortgage. So they actually explained what sustaining members means. It's like you can't, like you said, you can't go to the bank and say, "Yeah, we'll probably bring it," we had to show on paper that we expect this money. It's like when you have a job, your employer tells you how much they're going to pay you each month. And when we came here, we didn't hear that. We didn't hear you talk to the people about what sustaining means. And it's kind of a scary word. It's kind of like, oh, I'm making this big commitment. And like you said, if you say, "I commit to give you $5 a week," at least
Right.
you're going to be getting that money. You can put it on your budget. Joe and I came in and went, we never heard anything about that, but because he used to be the treasurer, he knew what sustaining meant. So we did that right away, because we know it's not like, oh, if you don't give on a given week, we're going to take it out of your bank account.
No.
But you're giving you guys an idea of what you can expect so that you can plan. And I think maybe you need to make it a little more, I don't know, make it a little more clear on Sundays.
Thank you. That's good. And sustaining, it doesn't just about money either. It's about giving of yourself, your talent, your time and service and stuff like that is part of sustaining too. Sue Buckley.
Joni took my words and said it better.
She does that all the time.
Well, we'll make that clearer. And like I said, it's not about getting more money out of you all here, sitting here. It's about expanding. Like, can we expand out? Can we invite more families and people in here that would want to contribute to the growth of this beautiful philosophy that's helping so many people in so many ways throughout this world? So
I mean, if we had over 100, sometimes 120 over at a professional building, which was a suite, I know that it can be done because it's already been done. So all we have to do is continue to know that. I think sometimes you make the step to move over here and it's like, yeah, moving on up. And then after we're here and everything gets settled, then people go about their lives and go, oh, okay, well, we're here now. And it becomes kind of normalizing. So anyway, I think it's wonderful.
It's time to stop. And I just want to let you know, we are a cash center. We don't have like a loan that we're paying off or any of that. And we would like to keep it that way, I mean, I would love to know that we have like a trust somehow, but we don't right now because we've needed every cent that's come in.
And Rita and I, if you're new with it, we're founders of this, which means that we didn't get paid the first 3 years. No, what it means is that if you were to say to me, what would you do differently? I probably would have never have allowed Rita and I not to get paid. Because the integrity, it wasn't until the board said this, we cannot go on. We cannot go on with you teach and not be paid. You not be paid, because that's out of principle. And I always appreciate a board that can tell you that. And I agreed with that. I've never done it in my life, but you know how you think you founded something? You think, well, I'll be in there, it doesn't really matter, and eventually no, I would have changed that, even if it was a smaller amount. So I'm very blessed that we have come this far, and I really want to give this lady incredible credit for being able to really us come together in partnership and really make this happen, because she really knows finances, and she has created many miracles since we have been here.
I like to
and
think
thank
of it that
you,
way.
thank you, and thank all of you.
Spirit.
And online, once again, we are here because of you as well. With 40%, that's a lot of why we're here. So we are all appreciating our offline people.
So I just want to give appreciation for everybody here. Thank you for staying. Thank you for caring about CSL Kauai, for caring about this philosophy. And let's just take a moment to take a deep breath. And just know that principle is in place. Principle works. Principle, when we say yes to something, the law answers yes. That's emergent evolution, and we've seen that over and over in the center. When the universe puts a demand on itself, it meets the demand, because that's what spirit does. That's what we do as spirit in every single moment. So what I know going forward is that Center for Spiritual Living Kauai is a jewel on this island and in the world, and it continues to flourish. It continues to grow. It continues to be that beacon of light to others, and it's because of all of us and our beautiful, amazing, magnificent spirits that happens. And we are so grateful for the finances, for the time, for the giving, for the consciousness, for all of it. It's just all one thing. So I bless it, and I bless this food that we're about to eat, knowing that it nourishes and strengthens our bodies, and that it is good and it is abundant, and that we can eat it in community with joy for a beautiful 2025, and looking forward to 2026. So I just say thank you, thank you, thank you, and I release my word as law. I let it be, and so it is.
So we're going to go eat now, but I did get a download, and I had to say it, and he came forward.
shut him up.
We had a beautiful man here that is no longer with us, Rob Jones, and he was really instrumental because he did a lot of what's going on now. And here's the deal. When we were in negotiations for 3 months with the Hongmongji, because they were not sure who and what we were, but anyway, we went into that, and I remember, and if anybody is going to be frugal, it's Rob Jones is not going to let you do anything that he thinks it's going to be not a good money thing. And he was and he kept saying, I'll do that, I'll take care of that. And he sat with Rita and I, and he said, I think you need to do this. I know you need to do this building. And so everybody did feel that, but I really want to thank him, because he wasn't able to be here with us with the move, but Rob Jones was instrumental because I trusted him so much. Not so much his wife, but I trusted. Oh, no. Oh, she's here. Oh, my God.
Give me that mic. We love Rob. Thank you.
We miss him. All right, everyone.
So eat
Thank
up.
you. Go enjoy.
Eat up.